everybody, and welcome back to the Ava series. This video is about Ava and her progress with me. Ava is a 9-year-old female blue-throated macaw. I believe she's only had 2 owners, and her primary owner passed away, and this meant that Ava was under the care of somebody else. However, that somebody else had some major life changes. Ava ended up in a rescue situation, and she was just not thriving at the rescue, is what this person felt. That this rescue situation and environment was not conducive to Ava. And so I was asked to adopt her and take her on, and it was really beautiful timing because I had been looking at this particular rescue, wanting to take on particularly a blue throat for my male blue-throated macaw to sort of test the theory or concept about having an even number of macaws. I previously have had 3 macaws, and I have 2 camelots and 1 blue-throat. And the dynamic between them has really shifted over the years to be very aggressive between one of my blue throats and one of my camelots. Now my camelots are pretty nice. They definitely don't antagonize my blue throat, but my male blue throat does go after a singular camelot. And I've always thought it's this dynamic of 3 that would never happen in the wild. They're all males. I've just had a lot of thoughts around it. I've gone to expert other trainers like zoo trainers and stuff like that looking for help on how to get my 3 macaws to get along. And most recently I visited a place who specializes in blue throats and has a very large flock of blue throats. And one of the things one of the trainers was telling me there is that blue throats tend to pick and stick to their own. So I noticed right away when my male blue throat saw Ava, his whole demeanor changed. And you can see her kind of wing twitching and being super sweet and baby-like. And that's what happened to my male as well. And so his whole demeanor has changed having another blue throat around. It's pretty amazing the drastic difference in his emotional character. He was usually a little bit more high-strung, on edge, very quick to escalate his behavior to aggression, and now he's definitely lower on the spectrum of more neutral and almost baby-like, and it's really refreshing and nice. So far this is going amazingly well. My end goal, long-term goal, is to have Ava free flying with my blue throat macaw Jinx. Now I don't know what that'll look like long-term because Jinx was raised from a baby to fly. He's never been clipped. He was properly fledged. Ava, however, has a clipped background. When I got her, she still had some clipped feathers that needed to molt out. She's now fully flighted. She tends to, what I think, do a little bit of barbering because her nice wing feathers over here have what looks like she's been gnawing at them. And I won't know if she's 100% stopped that since being with me until she molts those feathers out. So I don't know exactly what flying them together will look like, if she'll be able to keep up, if she'll ever be as good of a flyer as him, probably not. But hopefully they'll be able to fly together someday. That's kind of my goal. I do at this point have her flying outside, but it's very simplistic. She doesn't have a lot of skills. We have to be very particular about where and when we fly her, which we are about all of our birds anyway, because their safety comes first. But it looks even a little bit more controlled and restrictive for her based on her history and just being an older bird learning later in life. So that is Ava's history. Originally, I really thought she would be my husband's bird, and we do have the goal of her working for us equally, and so far she does do that, but she prefers me at this point. It's probably just I spend more time with her. Her last owner was a female who just totally adored her and spent a lot of time. So I'm thinking that, you know, she's had probably a bit more positive experiences with females than males, but I'm sure Dave will be able to win her over. The other interesting thing about her history that I've had confirmed by 2 different vets is that she was hatched with scissor beak, which means that her beak grows unevenly. For Ava in particular, it's the right side, right? I think it's the right side of her lower mandible that grows more, and it grows really quickly and makes her whole beak kind of offset, which can mess with a lot of things. So we're having to stay very on top of that. She has to get her beak trimmed back, just that lower mandible, once a month, which is ridiculously often. It grows incredibly fast. We've looked into what we can do about it, but she doesn't have that same growth in her nails or any other issues. All of her blood work and everything's come back completely clean and clear. So all the vets have said that this is just a genetic thing that she was hatched with, and we just have to be on it. So one of the things that I want to start working with her on is toweling. It looked a little, what's the word I want to use? I don't necessarily want to use the word traumatic, because she acted great once she was toweled, but it wasn't the smoothest process that I saw at the vet as far as her getting toweled. So I would like to make that process less stressful on her in the future by training her to accept toweling, so that I can wrap her in a towel and then hand her over to the vet that way. So that's something that I really want to work on with her and see how far I can get with it. So far, I've trained Ava flight training, so recall training, and also the spin, and then I've started on the wave but haven't completed it. So the more trick training you teach a bird, the more they learn that they can learn, the faster they learn. So I wanted to make sure that I had some established learning criteria for her before I start. Sorry, my computer background started and it kind of freaked her out. Before I start on a toweling sort of husbandry trick process. So I'm going to show you guys what that will look like in this video, because flight training is a very small part of what we've been working on, and it's just kind of another part of the puzzle, but it's not everything. This background is really freaking you out. Okay, let's get started. Boo. You're so cute. Hi. Hi. Ah, good.